Alright, I'm going to show you how to use the custom CommandBox command for creating CRUD inside the content box. The command is crud-cbadmin, and first off, what you want to do is go ahead and install a base content box application. Go ahead and get it set up and running um, on your server. Now the first step is to make sure that the command is installed, and so what we'll do is we'll run install space crud-cbadmin. That'll pull everything down from ForgeBox, and obviously it's already installed, so there's nothing new to do there. Alright, so the first step is we're going to create a module inside of ContentBox. And to do that, I use ContentBox create module. Specify the directory. Now I'm in the root of everything now, so I'm specifying modules ContentBox / modules _ user. I prefer to install things here because it'll appear on this section of the content box. So I'm going to do that. You'll see it scaffolds out some quick handlers and models and base views there. Now the next step is actually going to be to change the directory into your model that you just created, and just do that with a CD like you see there. Alright, and what we're using is the ContentBox create ORM entity command to basically create the entity that we're going to build the CRUD off of. A lot of you probably already use this, but as you can see, ContentBox create ORM entity. Entity name is property. That has properties of first, last, email, updated at, which is a timestamp, created at, which is a timestamp, and I specify the table as myProperties. In ORM, that's not necessary, but because we're going to be building our own SQL, I wanted to define my table. And you can see the primary keys and ID just using the native generator. Go ahead and press enter on that, and you'll see that it created a model called property. Now let me pull that up here for you. There's quickCRUD model property, which is just an ORM entity. It shows first, last, email, updated at, and created at, and this really is just temporary use. So come back over, and now we're actually going to utilize the new feature, or new command rather, which is ContentBox create crud-cbadmin. We're going to tell it the entity that we're going to read from is models.Property. Give it a plural name of properties. The module name is the module we created earlier called quickCRUD. And once again, the table that we're using is myProperties, and that's from the SQL database we're going to be using. We'll go ahead and press enter on that, and you'll see that it has scaffolded out some more goodies for us. Yeah, we have a property service, which basic SQL commands for get, a basic get, a get all, a save function, new function, as well as the delete function. The way the save function works, it basically checks to see if the hidden field of the ID basically is there, then it operates as if it's an update statement. Now you'll need to come in here and modify these. For instance, if one of these needed to be an integer, you'll need to adjust your parameter there. As you can see, updated at and created at were both automatically generated, no matter if you added it in the entity or not. It's just safe to go ahead and add it there. Now let's see, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to hit rescan, and you see we have a quickCRUD right there. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on, and one thing I like to do is reinit everything just for safe measures, because we are technically using ORM to a degree, because that entity actually created the SQL database for us. Now the next step is going to be going to change your address bar, drop the S so it's module singular, quickCRUD/properties, and that's actually going to pull the property/index, which you can even see here. They're both the same. Because I already had a database set up here, we're automatically pulling this information in. You can have this module create menu items across the side here. Gavin's covered that in another episode, so you can look that up. But this right here is your new email address. We'll call me Andrew1, Davis1. Hit save, and now we have that record in there. Sorting is already built in using the data tables here, so you can already do that. Let's go ahead and delete this record. We'll tell it to delete. Do you really want to do it? Nope. Well, we're still there. No, let's do it again and tell it OK. And we dropped it like a bad habit. Obviously, you can come over here, hit edit, and you have those fields there that you can edit and hit save. Now, one of the cool things about this here, I'm going to pull up the code, is in the views of the editor. Now, you see, for instance, we have email first and last. Well, we want to customize that. What we can do is pull up the view. So now we have first, last, and email. And this here is a hidden field of the ID, which I'm just going to drop down out of the way. One thing I want to do is utilize Bootstrap and make this into 3 columns. So we're going to do this here, and just because I'm going to add a row. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And this is one of the cool features of doing it this way. Now I'm going to hit refresh. Now we have the ability to lay this thing out however we want. So you're not just locked into the generated way that the HTML entities does things. You also have free reign over everything that the HTML helpers have until required equals true. Come back over here, refresh. Let's say I'm going to get rid of the email, hit save. It tells me to please fill out this field. So it adheres to all that. By the same token, this property list page, you have the index view. And you can clean this up however you see fit. First, last email, first, last. And let's see here. First, last email. And we got created at, and then updated at. Alright, so I'm going to save that, come over here, refresh. Now we have it in a little bit better format, or if you want to hide fields, you can hide or the columns. That's completely up to you. Now, one feature that's really cool here that's already built into this CRUD is something that I wrote with the help of Gavin, and in my handler, you'll see that my pre-handler here runs this function here called check event permissions, right? So basically what it does is it checks to see what event actions is happening. It pulls from here to basically let me know if I can or cannot do that action. Now, models.Admin is a role that everybody has to have on the maintenance. But for instance, let's just say here models.Admin, we're wanting to change that to nobody, right? So I want to come over here just to be safe. I'm going to reinit, and then I'm going to come over here to new, and it should kick me out, right? And it did. And it told me you don't have permission to view this, which is this message here. The event that it sent me to was cbadmin, and so you can send this anywhere you like by just editing that right there. You can also string it along by saying, alright, models.Admin and the role nobody can view this. So I'm going to go here, reinit. Obviously, because I'm models.Admin, I have that role, I can come over here to the new. And you can see that alright, the administrator here, yeah, see, he has models.Admin. Now, one thing you can do as well is you can come over here to permissions and create your own permissions. So we'll just call it, this is property, we'll call it property admin. Alright, just duplicate that there. And so now in my codes, I'm going to change it to where the only people who can create a new is going to be people of the property admin role. And so reload application. Let's see here. It knew it should kick me out, and it does. So what I'm going to come over here and do, I'm just going to edit my user, give myself an a la carte permission of property admin. Now I have it. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my module here, hit new. Now I can create, I have access to that page there. So that's just one little extra thing that was built in, and it's just because it's something that I need and I utilize. Feel free to change anything you see, make it work how you need it to work. Even here doing your checks, validations. Feel free to change the way this property service thing here works. When you're up and running and you're done, feel free to delete this object. Should be no need in it anymore, since we just utilized it to generate all this here. So at any rate, if you have any questions, find me on Slack. Hopefully you can utilize this and create your own ContentBox CRUD applications.